Sachs is now saying that anyone that's studying coding or engineering right now doing software engineering, they need to also study philosophy. You believe that? Well, we got a little bit philosophical there, but you know what else is going on in tech? Goldman
What?
Sachs is now saying that anyone that's studying coding or engineering right now doing software engineering, they need to also study philosophy. You believe that?
Interesting. Why? What was the why they said that philosophy?
Okay, so they're saying philosophy because philosophers are notorious for like their critical reasoning, thinking through
Hmm.
kind of hard problems, being able to explain kind of difficult concepts in a way that is really attainable by the general mass audience. Well, they're saying these skills are going to be useful when you're talking to AIs. So prompt engineering, things like that, or when you're having to try and explain something to an AI, those skills, specific skills, are going to be super helpful for people that are working kind of today in a technical field, because the technical fields today are going to change, right? We're
Hmm.
just around the corner of AIs being able to write any code that we need. So the real skill is going to be understanding the, I guess, the technical aspects, but then also
Yeah.
being able to communicate with your robot boss, like we said last week, or just any AI that's out there.
Have you heard that the life that you have is the result of the questions that you ask, which is interesting to think about it. But yeah, if you're asking yourself, how do I make this amount of money, in this time frame, or how I can get to that school? So I think that it's true. Philosophers are trying always to think those type of questions. So I can see that. I was trying to internalize why what will be interesting, but yeah, is they give you clarity at least to be able to ask what type of questions they need to be asked, which for prompt engineering, that's literally what it is. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
prompting.
I mean, you've got to be curious. You have to have a curious mindset, asking the right questions. That's where you're going to really get to the point where you understand other people's viewpoints, really understand what's driving them, their motivations, things like that. And so they're saying as the AIs get better and smarter, a little sentient, right? We're going to have to talk to them in a way like this. And that's how they're going to grow. That's how they're going to get better as well. That's how
Yeah.
they're going to be able to understand what your thought process is as the engineer or the prompter that's asking them to do something.
Yeah, I think that is some of those future skills that you're still gonna have to have, right? Like creativity. Sure, AI might be able to do a movie on the fly in a couple seconds, but you still have to weave a story, the creation, the emotions, the feelings, and yes, at the end of the day, the machine it will be very good on certain things, but I think the creativity, that's where maybe these will become those tools. It's like when you're seeing like a Star Wars, the robots are not the protagonists, right? They are helpers to help the kind of in the story of Star Wars is basically helping them around to flight or to go around to translate information. So sometimes the culture on movies kind of gives some idea on the social behaviors. So similar here, though, where if you think about it, maybe those could be your extensions, your tools, but you still have to have maybe the clear thinking, like philosophy or creativity, to be able to have all of these ideas. It will
Mm-hmm.
be nice when the robot is going to say, you know what, I want to go to Cabo. I don't want to work the next week. That's when we will have a trouble, right? Because then
Yeah.
they're going to try to rule the world.
That's too funny. But this concept of kind of speaking in plain language to explain these concepts. I mean, when we're all learning to code and things like that, you talk about pseudocode, right? You just kind of think out a problem in normal terms and normal words, and then that's how you start chunking out your code, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a similar concept there. So for those of y'all that are like have an arts degree or like English or philosophy, maybe consider like dipping your toe in some tech, because places like Goldman Sachs and things like that, they're starting to look at this in a different way. They want you to also have some of these other verbal fluency type skills alongside with some of these technical skills, and maybe they might lean more towards those a little bit more right now because they might be heavy, very technical. So very interesting kind of turn of events there. So look for prompt engineering. Maybe that's something that you can get with your English or philosophy degree. All right. Well, you know what? Just a reminder, like, subscribe, comment. We love to hear from you. If you haven't watched our viral Bitcoin all-time high meme remix, go check it out on our channel. I think we're nearing 9,000 on one of them and maybe 1,500 on the other. Just a thought to think about. How have you felt today? You know, you need to keep trying, keep going. Without failure, you're not going to grow. So I think that's a wrap. Dale.
Bye.